Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I said it many times, and I'll keep on saying it. There will be a lot of former military from NATO countries killed and in active duty in Ukraine, and they will all be volunteers. I do not believe that. I have a gut feeling that this X were X until they entered Ukraine, or former. And as they entered Ukraine, they became a former and they became a new volunteer. I made this case on many of my videos, and I don't have any evidence to support those gut feelings. It's just a theory that I know will be confirmed after all this bullshit in Ukraine will end with the outcome of those guys losing. Which one are those guys? Anyway, let's go and see this article coming from Sputnik telling us that two US military veterans were killed in Ukraine. Two more. I'm not celebrating. I'm just upset that Ukrainians are in this deep doo-doo that they are. So, Sputnik, this is today, August 8, 2023. Two US Army vets killed while fighting in West's proxy war in Ukraine. A total of 4,845 foreign mercenaries have been killed during the ongoing special military operation in Ukraine, the Russian Ministry of Defense revealed in mid-July, adding that Ukraine has stepped up recruitment of, quote-unquote, soldiers of fortune. That's a beautiful song by Deep Purple, Soldier of Fortune. I recommend it. In the US and Canada, due to a waning interest in dying for the Kiev regime in European countries. Two US military veterans were killed while fighting in Ukraine as, quote-unquote, volunteers late last month, according to media reports. Andrew Weber, a graduate of the US Military Academy, who did tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, and Lance Lawrence, a former machine gunner in the US Marine Corps, were both reportedly killed on July 29, 2023, while serving in Ukraine's 59th Motorized Brigade. So Lance Armstrong here, and the other one is what? Andrew Tate? Lawrence had been, and I'm quoting, providing cover fire under heavy enemy fire for fellow chosen company soldiers when he was wounded. End quote, wrote Ryan O'Leary, an American claiming to be serving as a company sergeant with Ukraine's forces on X, formerly Twitter. O'Leary added that Lawrence was enlisted in the Ukrainian armed forces and was ostensibly, quote-unquote, not a mercenary out for blood or excited for combat, end quote. As for Andrew Weber, according to his LinkedIn profile, he joined the Ukrainian Armed Forces in May this year. According to another man using the handle at Florida Soldat on X, who claimed to have been wounded in the operation that killed the two vets. They had been part of the so-called chosen company. The person claimed this company was not part of the Foreign Legion unit within the Ukrainian military. Like O'Leary, he insisted that the chosen company was incorporated into Ukraine's 59th Motorized Brigade, formed as far back as 2014, when Ukraine unleashed its war against Donbas civilians. Okay, this is Sputnik. But remember, not even in the, whatever that was, the Legion of Love or something. Now it's not the Legion of Love, it's the Chosen Ones, right here. Bad company, Chosen Company. Alright. While the US State Department confirmed the death of the two American citizens in a drone attack in Ukraine on July 29, 2023, it refrained from releasing their names on the day in question. And I'm quoting, "We can confirm the death of 2 U.S. citizens in a drone attack in Ukraine on 29 of July 2023. We are in touch with the family and providing all possible consular assistance. Out of respect for the family's privacy during this difficult time, we have nothing further to add," end quote, the statement said. These are the guys. Lance is on the left. Okay, it says a Marine veteran, and Andrew Weber, right, who graduated from U.S. Military Academy at West Point, were killed on So this guy and this guy. Well, okay. Screen grab shown Lance left, while fighting in Ukraine. It says cannon fodder for the West proxy war. A growing number of Americans have been killed while fighting on the side of Kiev regime, according to U.S. media reports and public statements. Many of these individuals had previously served in the U.S. military. Ex-Green Beret Nicholas Meimer, Marine Corps veteran Yen Tortorica, and Danielle Swift, a one-time U.S. Navy SEAL, are just some of those who chose to take on the role of cannon fodder for the West proxy war against It should be noted that the U.S. government, while funneling huge batches of military aid to the Kiev regime has publicly repeatedly advised Americans against traveling to Ukraine to fight within the ranks of its military. That doesn't mean anything. Apparently, such warnings have fallen on deaf ears. So, since the launch of the Russian military operation, a total of 11,675 foreign mercenaries from 84 countries have officially arrived in Ukraine to participate in hostilities on the side of Ukrainian armed forces. According to data provided by the Russian Ministry of Defense, some 4,990 foreign mercenaries employed by Kiev, maybe like this, employed by Kiev have been eliminated, and around 4,910 fled the country. A total of 2,029 mercenaries continue to fight on the side of Ukraine's military, the ministry said in July. The Russian Investigative Committee has launched criminal cases against 160 mercenaries from 33 fighting countries fighting as part of the Ukrainian armed forces. Furthermore, the Minister of Defense said that Kiev has stepped up the recruitment of mercenaries in the US and Canada, facilitated by CIA and private military companies controlled by it. I cover that, and I'm quoting here. Due to a decline in interest in dying for the Kiev regime in Poland and UK and other European countries, recruitment activities in the US and Canada have intensified. End quote, the ministry said. Moscow earlier reiterated that all those foreigners who are fighting on the side of Ukraine in a special operation zone, whether they are quote-unquote soldiers of fortune or so-called volunteers, end quote, remain legitimate targets of the Russian military, and I'm quoting, who successfully obliterate them. Okay, well, my friends, they are adults, they make their own decisions, there are consequences, good sometimes are bad. Good for some, bad for others. So, two more vets were killed by the Russians, and there are more over there. Now, as I said, I continue to hold my gut feeling, how should I put it, statement or, impression, assessment that there are units, military units from countries organized under the control of their superiors, active in Ukraine, supposedly under the, now we find out, right, not only volunteers, incorporated in the Ukrainian military. We're going to find out little by little, or when the order is given, yes, you can provide information, the books are already written. Okay, it's just they need to change the numbers. So right now they have this many killed, by then they will change the number. Click, 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 submit the manuscript to the publisher. The publisher say, why did you change just that? Send it over there, and they will be best-selling authors. Some of them with, I don't know, all kind of names, the usual names. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Be just.